G'day everybody, and welcome back for some more Stationeers. And just last week, I managed to get a LARrE functional, picking my plants, planting my plants, doing all the things I needed it to do, and then they went and changed LARrE. Literally, I think it was the next day. I gotta do it all again. And I think I gotta do it differently, because now LARrE is potentially smarter. There's a hydroponics LARrE that can just like read what's underneath it or something. Yeah. Okay. That's a thing. I don't like, I read through the update notes and everything. Not sure I fully understand what's changed or how it's going to impact how I have to do things, but I also figure that I did work it out before, so I should be able to work it out again. I should be able to make this work. But we should turn this off because I don't know what it's going to do. We have to make a hydroponics LARrE and then redo all this stuff. But there are a couple more pressing concerns that need to be handled before then. Number one, it's 28 degrees in here. Number two, I have no drinking water. So why is it 28 degrees in here? I'm a little concerned. What's in the coolant pipe? No, that's the air pipe. Coolant pipe. 215 degrees. Uh-oh. Why is the coolant at 215 degrees? Oh. I did turn all this back on, so I don't know why it's not... Oh. What? Okay, I'm confused. 215. Empty? What? Why is that empty? That's not right. Oh, that's not right. There we go. Blammo. Oh boy. How did that pipe break? Why did that pipe break? Know why I went all the way into the room when I could have just done this to begin with. Oh. This pipe, I don't understand why this pipe would have burst, because it's just CO2, so I shouldn't have been able to get it cold enough for it to freeze. Whereas the other ones, yeah, the water one's fine, but why did the CO2 one break, and why in the middle of the wall? If it exploded near an exploded water one, then I'd understand it, but just in the middle of that segment, I don't know why. No, this setup is not the same as the one that burst in the Atmo room, because this one just has a single loop and a single air conditioner, so the single air conditioner should not be fighting against anything, because there's only one. Although, somehow this is negative degrees anyway. Oh. So is this. Oh. Interesting. Thanks, Mike. Thanks so much for that tier 2 for 6 months. Oh boy. And thank you, Nomus. Thank you for the Prime sub. No, I reckon this broke last week, because there was a comment on the VOD that I had a rather toasty greenhouse, which is why I thought to even check it at the start. And yeah. That was... Well, at least this is cooling down rapidly now. Quite rapidly. Really? Oh, man. Looking at the phase graphs, I shouldn't be able to super cool water the way that I've been doing, yet I still have been achieving it. So, hopefully with the target pressure a little bit higher, this won't happen again. So we're at, 5 kPa puts us at... Oh, no, maybe we want to go to 10. Oops. Go to 10. 10 is safe. It's gonna be less. It's gonna do less, but it'll be safe. It shouldn't explode. "28's a fine temperature for the greenhouse, if that's the temperature you're setting it to. It's not a good temperature when it's only at that temperature because there's a massive tank of water in there that's soaking up all this heat and it's already reached 28 degrees. Cool. Well, that's gonna... Let's fix that problem. Let's put the walls back up. Hope this doesn't happen again. I mean, I don't mind... oh, excuse me. My voice just went. I don't mind that stuff is breaking around me, because that's kind of the fun of Stationeers, is that you build... Why did I say that at that moment? I literally say, I don't mind that stuff's breaking around me, and then explosion. Yep. Yep. How much water did I just lose? Oh dear. How much did I break? I think I've still got open to external air somewhere here. Now that pipe network has pollutant in it. So where did that iron come from? Must have been stuck behind this or something. Oh, the power's out. Ah! Because the transformer's dead. Oh boy. Is the power out to the production room? No. That's lucky. Hey. This feels like the sort of timing. That's a grow light. Why have I got a grow light? This feels like the sort of timing that when it works in my favor, people are like, oh, you scripted it. Oh man. Thanks, Jedmans. Thank you for the Prime sub. And thank you, the Doctor. Thank you for 16 months. Oh boy. Alright, replacing pipes, replacing networks, filling up things. Do you know what I need? I need a system where I can fill these tanks without paying any attention to it. That's what I need. This way. Because apparently I can't be trusted to pay attention to the systems that I've set up. Thank you, Alpha12125. Thank you for the Prime sub. And thank you, Mike, for the gift sub as well. And Norgrim for the Prime sub. And Jedmus, thank you for the 200 bits. Oh. Well, this is a thing. At least my big vent is pulling all of this gas out. Actually, what is the gas that I've got? The gas mix here, is it? It's predominantly CO2, yeah. And a bit of water, steam. Okay. First off, let's chuck this in here and that might give me enough water to drink. Then I've still got air coming in from somewhere. Where have I got air coming in from? Oh. Oh, that's proper outside. Oh, geez. Okay. Nope, that is not enough thrust. More thrust. Oh dear, I can't actually get to this. Oh, no, stop being like this. My thrust is at max strength and I can't do it. Can I get there? Okay, got that one. That might allow me to get up in that corner and get the others. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, I think I still need to get these two. Ah, but if I get this one, maybe it'll seal it. Is that done? I think I'm good. I think I'm sealed again. Okay. Oh boy. The stuff is breaking around me because that's kind of the fun of Stationeers, is that you build... Oh man, that timing! I don't mind that stuff is breaking around me because that's kind of the fun of Stationeers, is that you build... that couldn't be better! And that I was looking at it too! It's not... It's not even that it exploded in the distance. I was literally staring at the thing. Oh man. So good. So perfect. Ugh. I wish I could script that well. Okay, I'm gonna leave some of the broken bits behind, but try and get rid of as much as I can. Just need to leave some of the broken bits to know what I need to replace. The bits that aren't just pipe. I don't know if you're broken. Okay. Is that... Did I cut the power to the dining room? I think I have. Oh dear. Gotta get this fixed. I mean, I was lucky to be standing at a distance where I didn't get hurt. So there's that. Okay, that's connected again. Now we need to connect up floor. Which, since it's busted, I can clean up. And we're almost back at vacuum in here, which is good. Just go along this side. Okay. Then there and there. And the airlock's reconnected. And everything's good. Okay. Now I need pipes. So I need to fix this stuff first because the cooling loop is currently busted. And I then need to also be able to refill it again. Alright. Insulated inline tank. Where have we got one? Have we got one? Utility liquid, liquid... Utility gas? Yes, we do. Thanks, Fireheart! Thank you for lucky 13 months. all I needed for that. We've still got pipes. So the output for the air conditioner goes back to this bit. And this bit is connected to outside. And then the lights need to be rehooked up. Oh man. This is a lot less bad than the first time I had an explosion like that. Okay, then need one more pipe utility, regular one this time so I can get the connector thing set up. And then I need to make a safe way to fill these tanks with CO2. Which, honestly, I'm not sure how to approach right now. I think what I need is a little program inside the filtration unit that checks the pressure on the output pipe, and if it's above, say, 18 megapascal, it turns off the filter. I think that's probably the way to go. But obviously not setting it up in this room, setting it up over in the gas filtration area instead. Because that's really where it should be. I need to get a canister with at least something in it to prime that line. And hit start. Okay. We're at least functional again. How much hotter did this get while I was... Oh no, that's good. That's down at 27, so that's fine. So we're all okay. Phew. Cool. Then I need to figure out if I now need to filter my water supply and clean it up, because it has pollutant in it. I'm gonna go check that, and check downstairs in the plant room, because I don't think I should be delivering pollutant-filled water to the plants. How bad is it? Oh, wait, because this is a separated network, it's actually fine. Thank you, pump! Being a valve, you saved me. Yes, I can just pump it out. Just vacuum out the pipe and throw away all the bad stuff. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Yeah, I figured if you have to filter water, you'd need to filter it as a gas, or just filter off the gas. If you can get using phase change, you can do filtering as well. So, what I am going to do now is go all the way back to where I was, because that's where I left my computer. Because I'm going to go down into the space, the thing, with the what's-its and the thingos. Oh man. I'm gonna go back into the atmospherics room and set up the filter that's in there with a couple of spots for canisters and have it automatically fill them to a set pressure before it turns itself off. And I'll have the canisters up at, you know, the main floor height rather than having to go all the way down to the bottom to collect them. So I'll actually set it up properly. Usably, rather than just having things kind of messy. So I need more of these, and yeah, why not? We can put an inline tank in. Maybe more than one inline tank. I have an idea of how I can make this work a bit more nicely. We get another 3 of these. And we need an integrate, we need an IC10. Yeah. I have a plan. Basically, my idea is to have this circuit tell the filter to turn on when the pressure within the network is less than, say, 15 megapascals, and turn off when it's more than 18. That's it. So it can just be toggling itself on and off all the time. And then up here at floor height, yeah, I can put it here. Up here at floor height, I can have a pair of gas tank fillers that say how much is in there, that allow me to just pull off full CO2 canisters, one for jetpack, one for whatever coolant thing I'm building at the time. Alright, is that clean lines to there? Yeah, it is. I should also probably make these grey. But I think if I put these 2 inline tanks in, it means that the bottles should be ready to fill more quickly because they will already be filled. Already a reasonably pressurized line in. Oh, I need to turn down my jetpack. Oh man, what is this doing? No. Okay. I don't think I need to be as fancy for this one as I am for the my waste tank setup, where I've got the valves and stuff to make sure that it only goes in one direction. I could have the valves going, obviously for the other one it would be going in, so that I don't steal from a canister by putting a new empty one in. But I think it'll be okay, and I don't have any grey. Where's my grey paint? Huh. Also, apparently, I want it to be hidden. A regulator is super slow. Why would I use a regulator when I can just learn something new? What was I doing? There was a thing I was doing. Grey paint. Grey paint. Oops. Curse you. Abiotic factor. Having G be the throw key. and Stationeers for having G be the put away key, so I constantly get the two messed up. And should be able to remove this frame now. It doesn't need to be here at all. Apparently I didn't have the grey paint. Had all the others, but no grey. Must have run out, or it got left somewhere else. It's entirely possible it's somewhere else. Yeah, I had run out. Oh, it could be in the paint gun. That's a good point. That is probably exactly where it is. It's almost certainly in there. It's... yep, it's in the paint gun. I forgot about the paint gun. Okay, so... now, for this to work, I need to remember how this works. How to do these things. That in there. We got any other canisters ready for using this way? I think I've got a few in the lines over here. I got this one. And I got this one. Okay, so I got two. I will paint them purple to match the jetpack color so that I know that that's what they are, but I can use them for other things. And I realize I'm sort of mixing colors by putting purple in the gray, and I don't mind because it looks kind of nice. Alright, so to begin this, I need to go to filtration. And have a look at this. So, I want to read... pressure... should be pressure output, I think. Pressure output or pressure output 2? Ooh. Output 2? It's unfiltered. I think it's pressure output. I think output 2 is the unfiltered. And being confirmed by chat. Excellent. Alrighty, edit. So, we've got this in the library because I saved it last time, but just in case, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to create a new and go old man LARrE. There we go. Saved. And we're going to clear this. Now, I need to load from the air conditioner. Now, how do I do the load from air conditioner thing? It's... I'm trying to remember, it's not dB, it's... It is dB, okay. It is dB, so... I could make this really ugly, or I could try and make it neat. Alias, string, out, press. 15. R0. Let's go R0. Let's start at the bottom. Alias. Oh yeah, define. Press low to 15,000. Fine. Press high to 18,000. Cool. I don't want to take this off the tank storage, largely because I've cooled down that CO2, and the CO2 that I'm putting in these things doesn't necessarily need to be cooled. Maybe it'd be beneficial if it was, but I don't know, I've already got this thing set up. And since I have a habit of exploding these things, maybe it's better I don't hook up to my main thing. Okay, so I want to load into out press db pressure output. So that's going to get our value, and then do I annoy people and do this with loops? I think I might. I don't know that I can do it the way I would want to otherwise. I think I need to, because I kind of want to check if the output pressure is low first, or check if it's high first. If it's high, turn off. If it's low, turn on. Or I could just set trying to hit the pressure high rather than even worrying about the low pressure at all. So there's the... What's the function that you guys have told me to use that was like some Boolean thingamajiggy or something? It's not branch. Set? No. SLT? Set less than. No, set equal? Is there a set equal? Set less than? Set greater than. Okay, set greater than. Register equals 1 if A is greater than B, otherwise it equals 0. Alright. Set greater than. Register equals 1. So, if A is greater than B. No, I think I want less than, don't I? I want less than. No, I want to turn this off. And turn it on. Ah! I can do it. It can work either way. It doesn't matter, does it? Oh yeah, Vox, that's a good point. Putting cooled CO2 into cooling lines can actually be a problem because you end up forcing you may end up setting ACs to actually pump heat in. So, set greater than. I want to set the register to 15. If I want to set it to on. If press high is greater than out press. And then set dB.
Hunger caution.
Is it activate or is it mode? Mode setting? Oh, which one is on? Mode. I'm being told. Okay, mode. Mode. 15. Yield. Jumped. Start. So, we get the output pressure. We then compare output pressure to my pressure high, so we can ignore that line. Let's just do that so it's less obvious. Output pressure. I think mode is that start stop type button equivalent. It allows because this IC10 is inside the unit, I can't turn the unit on and off. I have to tell it to start and stop instead. Normally I would just do on off, but I need to tell it to start stop instead. So, if the pressure is greater, no, I should the way if A is greater than B, so then register equals 1. I've done this the wrong way around. This should be out press. So if output pressure is greater than pressure high... No, I had this the right way around. Oh, this is breaking my brain for some reason. It's so simple and I don't understand why it's not working. Okay, what I want is when the output pressure is above 18,000, turn this off. So I really should use a less than because greater than just doesn't make this make sense. Let's just use a less than. Because that makes it much simpler converting from English to MIPS. Set less than. So if A is less than 0, less than B, we'll... No. What is wrong with my brain this morning? I feel like I need to beat my head against a wall. This is not making sense for some reason. I think the explosion exploded part of my brain that was useful. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? Okay. Let's just delete this line. Okay. A is greater than B, register equals 1. If A is greater than B, no. A is less than B. I could use either, it doesn't matter. So, I know what it is. I know what it should be. It's press high, out, press. So, if we just look at this way, if the guidance pressure, press high, is greater than the output pressure, it'll be a register of 1, which is correct. It'll turn it on. If the pressure high is less than the output pressure, it will turn it off and it'll be a 0. So there we go. This should be fine. And that should just work and do its thing. Oh boy. Oh boy. That was something. Now we have to wait until this reaches 18 megapascals and see if it turns off. So the issue there was not that I don't understand how greater than's less than work. It's that I kept, every time I got 90% of the way to working through the problem and actually realizing what the endpoint was, I would then stop and think about the alternative one before actually finishing my thought. And it just kept getting derailed before I'd actually get to the station. Which was just really bad. Remove a few canisters to speed up this check. Yeah, that's a good point. It's also probably better if a pipe explodes rather than canister. Oh boy. Maybe test it with a lower pressure for speed and safety margin. Yeah, that's a fair point. I could do that. Let's do that. Remove a 0. That is not going up, which means this is off despite the fans. We can check by having a look at its mode, which is 0. I wonder if the canisters are actually higher than the margin I set, so I need to set a different value.
Hydration critical.
Oops, got to hit export. Mode 1. Pressure is going up. Oh, mode active. Yeah, that would have been a good way to do that. A lot easier than using the configuration cartridge. Let's just see if it turns itself off. And then we have a perfectly safe setup. Unless, as noted, I put a basic canister in where a fancy canister should be. Let's hope I don't do something that silly. There you go, that looks good. Mode idle. Hooray! Okay, now back to guidance pressure of 18,000. Confirm. That. Export. And done. Cool. Well, that's a good little thing to have set up now. Since I was really playing with fire the way that I'd been operating the CO2 fillers up until this point. I was lucky that what I exploded didn't explode more than what I did. And also very lucky the way it exploded. Brilliant. Okay, cool. I do need to bring one of those canisters back over here to pressurize this line a bit more, because I think it's pretty low pressure. 1.4 megapascals is not too bad. What have I got the others at? 6. Okay, yeah. We'll go get some more CO2. Then I can finally get to that dad joke that was claimed earlier, but I just wanted to focus on what I was doing before getting to it. I don't think the power failure will have affected anything too much. No. Because most of my systems do restart on resumption of power supply. I think. I think they all do, actually. Which I think is probably intentional game design, because you don't really want to have to go around and find all your devices that have not restarted each time you lose power. Because that would be pretty frustrating for people who are living on the edge of their power limits. You'd be constantly having to run around turning things back on, and then losing power again, and it'd be... I would think that would constitute fairly bad game design. It'll reset the counter for the grow lights, yeah, but that'll sort itself out eventually anyway. He's chewed through the... Oh right, it's also nighttime, isn't it? Chewed through the power quickly. At least I think it's nighttime, yeah. It's funny, I can tell whether it's nighttime or daytime in my base, because it's whether I've got fog or not. Alright, here's a bad one. Why do people in Athens hate getting up early? Because dawn is tough on Greece. Which may not make sense to people who don't know that ad. I'm hungry and thirsty, and I hope I can get water out of my thing at the moment. The groans are real, and they feed me. I did have a proper dad moment, last night. Surprisingly, as he's just a few days shy of 18 months old, this is the first time I've had this dad moment. Where Toby was on my lap, he was just about to fall asleep, and then he did a massive vomit all over me. So I would have needed a shower. As I do in game. But I won't worry about a game. So yeah. That happened. that was introduction to dad life. Oh, yeah. Now, I'm torn about one little thing. It's about whether I'm going to try and do LARrE now, or move my living quarters into the greenhouse. My dining room, so that I only have a single airlock into here. The reason I'm thinking of doing that is I have a water supply in here that is safe to drink, and I should probably just be eating and drinking in here rather than having two airlocks to go through, because it'll save a whole lot of time as well. I mean, 28-degree water, probably not the most pleasant drinking experience, but it is still drinkable. No, Kazoon, I do want to avoid having a skylight because of the added thermal load that will put on the place. A lot of heat will come in through that window. I mean, alternatively, I could just disable this airlock. and just have the single. That might be the easier option for the moment. I'll just disable this airlock and open both the doors. Then I can just walk through and it doesn't matter. Yeah, let's do that. Until we're fully ready to do things. Cool. Yay! Now I can just take off the suit and just... Yep, nice. And once this runs out of water, I will move my water filler in here. But what I was thinking of doing was expanding the room out in this direction, so that then I have my dining room off the greenhouse that way. Then the main corridor can come all the way down to this spot here. Move the fridge in there, move all the stuff in there. No, Gaming Admirals, unfortunately the way that the windows transfer heat through them, you can't use a double glazing sort of technique to prevent it in this game. It also doesn't massively prevent it in the real world either. If most of the heat you're getting through a double glazed window is coming from electromagnetic sources, i.e. radiative heat, then it's still going to come through the window. It's not going to get back out though, because then it will... I think that was most of the way it'll work. I'm saying this wrong, but I know, generally speaking, if it's the gas outside transferring thermal heat to the inside, then the air gap will work. If it's the sun's rays providing heat through, then the double glazing won't do anything. Yeah, conductive versus radiative heat. Thank you. Words are not coming to my brain properly today, as you may have noticed from the greater than, less than debacle. Right, I've eaten, I've drunk. I now have... I'm just gonna do one last check of things out here, but otherwise I can now get on to LARrE, I think. Morning, Wasted. You're up early? Or late? Early. Early? Yeah, probably early for you. You live pretty much on the Australian time zones. Wasted variable time is strangely close to Australian Eastern Standard Time. So that water line is going to be a problem when I eventually get some water added. Is that water line connected up to my system downstairs? I don't remember if I actually connected it up to the water maker. Alright, yes, okay, fine, I'll play the clip again. Where is it? There we go, there's one. I don't mind. Here you go, Wasted. Enjoy. I don't mind that stuff is breaking around me, because that's kind of the fun of Stationeers, is that you build... Yep. That's what happened earlier this stream. I don't mind that stuff is breaking around me, because that's kind of the fun of Stationeers, is that you build... Yep, at least I don't mind. Oh no, the water goes back into the filtration setup. Where's that water going to? That water goes into this storage, which isn't connected to anything, so that's all fine. Cool. have not poisoned the water hole. Wasted just for that one. I'm not going to mute myself next time I get a dad joke and we're streaming together. Dad joke request and we're streaming together. I was polite and muted myself during Abiotic Factor earlier in the week. Right. So everything is okay. I can just go through and we can... No, I need to build a hydroponics LARrE now. LARrE doc Inconel. Aw, man. Alright, let's make some Inconel. What does Inconel need? Gold, steel, and nickel. Alright, I think I have some gold in here. I hope I have some gold in here. No, I do not. Alright, mining time. Unless I've got some in one of these. Nope. Mining time. Pop that away. Pop away the stuff that I've got that's already full stacks. Let's go out mining for gold. Swap these out before I go. Ah. I mean, the easiest thing for me to do with the poisoned water pipe is just shove it back through the sorting system. And it'll get sorted and cleaned. Because that is a phase, like I use phase change to fix that anyway. Ow. Ow. Oh no, wait, I do have the right one. Never mind, don't mind me. Ignore me. Oops. We went... Let's go this way. There's gold right under my feet. Let's just grab that. That would make a lot of sense. And try not to die. Actually, on that point, let's put that in that hand. Highlights might help a little bit there. That'd probably be a good idea. Yeah, I'm already below bedrock, so it's all a bit weird. I wonder if they're going to change the bedrock depths and things like that when they do the mapping update. The terrain update. See you, Shizo. Well, at least I didn't have to go far for the gold. I'm surprised I didn't. Because for a long time I had collected gold for oxygen, and yet apparently didn't use up all the easily accessible stuff. Although this stuff is now impossible to access. go and get this stuff over here. Not sure why I decided to dig my way there, but, you know, it is what it is. So that's 450 gold. That's going to last me a little while. I'll grab this deposit and then I'll head back. How much of this I can grab even though it's in bedrock. It's kind of weird the way that the bedrock works, where if it's got ore in it, you can collect it. If it doesn't, then you can't drill it. You can end up with these weirdly deep sections of dug into bedrock. Also, something they changed with the way the vacuums are created has made the mining feel a little safer. I say cautiously, knowing that that could backfire on me in any moment. Honestly, the game says grams as units, but I just tend to think of them as units. I think I do sometimes call them grams and kilograms and things like that, but they are really just arbitrary number. Kind of like Imperial. Okay, put that away. Let's go make this thing. And realize that I don't have something else that I need for it, but I'm pretty sure I've got plenty of stuff to make steel, and I've got a lot of nickel. Yes, 12 capax in volume. Disagree that grams seems reasonable, Barnaby. This base is made from about... what? 3 kilograms of steel? This whole base. Yeah, grams is not reasonable. Yeah, exactly, Vox. The removed voxels have always, well, have for a long time created vacuum. They did originally, and then they didn't for a bit, and now they do again, but since the latest update, it's less dramatic than it once was, and seems less deadly. It's very light, fluffy steel. Well, I mean, it could be. It could be aerated steel. That is a thing. Okay. So make the steel first, I guess. We got 1, 2, 3, and coal. Grab another coal. Gonna need nickel for the thing at however much steel I make. So that'll make... I probably don't need to make this much Inconel. This is probably enough. Because it's... yeah. 0.25 steel to 0.25 nickel. So if I get 200 steel, 200 nickel, and 400 gold, we'll have a lot of Inconel. Air gel steel, yep. Or it's Timu steel. Timu steel. So cheap, you wonder just how many things were horrible to make it this cheap. Okay, yes, I've got the numbers right. It's 400 gold to 200 steel to 200 nickel. And now I need to evacuate the chamber. I'm going to do this in horribly inefficient ways. But it'll be fine. Indeed, Poisonous Dwarf. Irritated steel isn't known for its tensile strength. I can't remember what context I learnt about aerated steel, but I think it was, I feel like it's something spacey. Gotta love a good autocorrect. Autocarrot. Alright, put the steel out. Let's get the nickel and the gold in. What does nickel off gas to? It's been a while. Nitrogen, carbon dioxide, platinum. Cool. So that's not going to be a problem. Do you not know computer running furnaces? No. Computer running my furnaces? Who do you think I am? I am not that guy. This level of automation for my furnaces is way beyond anything I've ever done. And I honestly don't spend that much time here, so spending the 12 years it would take me to program an automated furnace, probably not worth it. Like, I just don't end up doing that much in here. Automated furnaces to me are the project for people who have done all the other things and now want an additional challenge. It's not the sort of thing you do because it's going to speed up what you're doing. It's the sort of thing you do because it's a challenge that you see as a challenge within your skill set, but that might push you a little bit and thus be fun as a result. For me, it's so far beyond any of that that it's like, yeah, no. Bangs the rocks on the furnace and the magic happens, yes. You can download scripts and put them in, but then you have to have everything set up the same way they do, and you have to do, like, automated furnaces are tricky not just from the programming, but also from the actual hooking up of all the componentry and making sure that it's got access to a bunch of things and having silos and all this stuff that it genuinely makes it quite complex from a whole different raft of perspectives, which is why people who have gotten to the point where they've achieved most other things in Stationeers want to give it a go, because it's kind of like this panacea of challenge, which is great, but also not for me. All right, what do we need to reach? We need to reach 23.5 megapascals. Exactly. We're going to be there with the temperature, that's fine. Let's go up a little bit faster. Doop, 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 doop. Yes. Thank you, Daz, for clarifying that one for me. $23.5. Let's go a little bit faster. Like, it's the sort of thing that playing with Nev, I'd expect him to eventually want to do. But I think even Nev would be like, I don't need to do this straight away. Could I have used the outside furnace? Yes, I could have. Well. Guess I can use this gas for processing some other ores as well. Maybe make another batch of steel. 21. I have deliberately slowed it down excessively because I know what I'm like. After all, I did explode my base this morning. 22. Okay, almost there. Green. We have Inconel. No, we don't. What? Brr. Stopped it just a little too soon, I think. I decided to drop the pressure as I removed the stuff. Yeah, let's go to there. Yeah. So now we're almost at the upper limit, and it's starting to cool. So let's pop it out. Yay! There we go. Yeah, I guess steel is probably the way to go, although I think I'm probably going to drop the temperature a bit quick for steel, but we'll give it a go. Always need more steel. 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, Chuck, In a setting where you're playing with lots of people, having one person spend their time on making an automated furnace setup certainly seems like a fairly reasonable approach to things, because everyone else is doing other stuff while that one person is focused on that task. But if you're just on your own, and it's not something you're good at, like me, if you're like me, then it's not so worthwhile, I think. It's not so easy to justify. Right, that'll do. Got some steel, we got some Inconel. Now we can go make LARrE. LARrE version plant. Now, I'm also aware that with the LARrE upgrade, you can now make the LARrE rails like train rails and have multiple LARREs working on the same rail. However, that does seem like an advanced topic that I would be really keen to learn, because I like trains. But I think jumping straight to that when I only just got to the level where I had a functional LARrE before the update seems like a bit of a step in the wrong, step too far. But it also seems like the way that LARrE works now, I should possibly have an easier time of checking all of the various plant spots, because I believe I now send LARrE to check the station, and it can just check what's under the station, which means I can potentially increment the stations. So I just have LARrE move to station 1, check it, move to station 2, check it, move to station 3, check it, and that way the loop should be simpler, assuming I'm understanding it correctly. And my thinking was, if I want to have 2 LARREs, if I have a large enough loop, I can have LARrE check if there's a LARrE at the station in front of it, or 10 stops in front of it, so it kind of keeps them separated by a decent distance, and just have them moving like that, have some sort of system to check ahead of it. But that's, again, getting ahead of myself, and I'm not ready for that yet. Alright, get out of my suit. So now I'm in the safe space. Do I have more rails up here? Or am I just going to have to go straight back and make more rails? I think I'm going to have to go back and make more rails. Because I want to make LARrE a loop now. Get ahead of myself, runs past a bunch of skulls. Timing. That's what I'm about today. Timing. Yeah, you can use unwired hydroponics, which means you can make them more densely packed. In fact, I might... Let's make some more hydroponics. Because I might rebuild a lot of that setup up there. Aiming for something that's hopefully closer to what the end goal will be. Because if I start with the LARrE, the first LARrE being on a branch off the loop, hopefully that will allow me to then upgrade to an extra LARrE if I want to expand the loop and make it cover even more hydroponics kits. And you're out of iron. And that'll do. And I didn't put the ore away. So we'll make those while I put the ore bags away. Yeah, Shadow Drake, I don't want to, as I've said before many times, I don't want to have LARrEs harvesting my main greenhouse. I want it to look nice. I mean, the LARrEs look nicer than the Harveys, but I still don't want them. I actually very specifically planned not to have it that way. LARrE is the linear articulated rail entity, or a grabby hand designed for utilizing as a goods transfer or plant harvest system. Oh, he's dead. Why did these ones die? Weird. Actually, I wonder if I can check this one quickly before it is dead. What's it complaining about? Oh, it's too slow. Yeah, it'd be nice if the plant analyzer could tell us why something had died. It's weird that the testing ferns have died, but the ones downstairs haven't. Just gonna grab these seeds. Since these may well die. Have they changed the grow lights? Oh. I didn't read anything about that. Guess I can always just plant one to see if it's complaining about something. No, the upper grow light is not on the wrong data circuit. It is on the correct circuit. Oh, no, you're right. This upper one is. It was too much light. Oh, I see what you mean now. This upper one. I didn't connect it the correct way. You're absolutely right. Yep. I cooked him. That is definitely what happened. Good catch. Right. So, I was going to rebuild this whole thing anyway. So let's do that. Now, do I need to deconstruct all these guys? Or can I leave the existing ones in place? Just fill in the gaps. Just do this instead. Double the density. Then I just need stations over every single spot. And to fix those lights. let's get rid of these lights. And... look, this is still a testing setup. This isn't my final setup. I'm not going to rebuild the entire setup yet. Once I have a working system, I then will look at redoing the whole setup. But at the moment, this is still just a testing setup. So it's still going to be... It's still me trying not to spend too much time building the whole thing. When I may have to change... When I may get some understanding that it allows me to design it in a better or different way. Okay. Then... Actually, don't want to do that way. I want to bring it all the way across. At that new height. Because... I'll put a second light in. Because, like, even where this circuit is wrong. There's so much up here that's just not where it should be. Okay. Where's my wall that I was using? Probably this one. So that's covering... Ooh. I think I can probably make this look good, having the grow lights on basically every spot. Although if I move this over here, that's about right. Yeah, I'll do it neatly when I do the proper one. Now, this is good enough. Yeah, Vox, I don't want to place a grow light on the floor. That feels really jank to me. It's one of those things I'm just like, yeah, no. There are lots of things I can do that technically work. That's not how I like to play games. Alright. There we go. We now have safe grow lights set up. The grow lights are now working properly. They're hooked up correctly. I now have to grab my computer. No, I have to redo my rails. Let's do the rails next. Deconstruct the dock. Don't even know what I can do with that dock, if anything, anymore. Let's wrench for this. Nothing there. There's a station there, station there, station there, station there. Where's my LARrE dock? Hydroponics LARrE dock. Oh, right, that's right. That's how this works. It actually is its own little station that branches off the line. So I put it there. No. Put it there? Is that over the top of anything? No, shouldn't be. Oh, this wants components now? What does this want to be built? Electronic parts. Oh! Rude. The old one didn't need anything. Yeah, are the station numbers going to reset themselves? We'll find out.
Hunger caution.
What was I doing? Electronic parts. I know, Fulgen. I know. That's why I was deliberately putting the station somewhere where there is nothing else. Electronics. Yeah, so the old LARrE could have done stuff exactly where its station or its dock was. The new one can't because the activate for the dock station is put the LARrE away. So you can have multiple LARREs on the same line. Which means you need to make sure that there's nothing underneath it because you can't access the thing that's underneath it because that will put it away. Because that's the only action that can take place. Okay. Now let's hook up to power and data, which is where on this thing? It's against the wall here? I'm gonna guess it is. See if we get a yellow. Okay, that seems to be the only spot. The old LARrE only had one, so I'm guessing that's right. Although, it's obviously a little bit disappointing that I got to having a functional LARrE and then it immediately got changed. I don't feel unhappy or anything about having spent that time and learnt what I learnt to get this working last week, even though I'm having to do it again. Because I think for all this programming type stuff, the learning I'm getting is kind of cool. I'm enjoying the learning process. Station 1, Station 2. What does this say? Station 3. Let's see what it says when I put another station in the middle. Two, three, four. Yay, it does rename them. Cool. Had a feeling it might. There are the other bits of rail around here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, repetition in this case is probably learning. We have station 2 to 10 on that side and 11 to 19 on this side. And I've got some seeds around here that I should throw in to my stacker. Put these over there too, since I'm going to need more. Oh. Do I have more chutes? I do. I have an idea. Inlet. Now I can throw in the 10s. And I can stack 30 before the stacker, and then it does singles from there. Cool. So now there's plenty of seeds in there for me to practice with. Computer. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to start this all fresh. Let's have a look at what the new LARrEs tell us. LARrE Dock Hydroponics. The hydroponics LARrE can plant and harvest plants as well as place fertilizer into plant trays. It has an additional hopper slot which will feed items into the hand slot when the hand slot is empty. What? Does that mean I could have seeds feeding directly into it? So I can pick up multiple seeds at once? Alright, I'm just going to ignore that for the moment and get something working without paying any attention to that. Because that sounds like an optimization that I could implement even after doing my basic setup. Where I just go, pick up one seed, plant one seed, pick up one seed, plant one seed, pick up one seed, plant one seed. In which case the plant in the hand will be moved to the hopper slot and the new plant will be harvested into the hands. Wait, harvesting a different plant while the hand slot is full will be possible if the hopper slot is empty, in which case the plant in the hand slot will be moved to the hopper slot and the new plant will be harvested into the hand slot. Okay. I can see where that might be useful. Slot variables of a plant in the tray below can be read using the proxy slot index. Oh dear. Pressing the activate button while the LARrE arm is at its home dock will move the arm off the main rail. This allows other arms on the same rail to pass by. Okay, so what I've got to figure out first is getting the LARrE to go to the first plant slot and read what is underneath it. That's step one. So let's clear this.
Hydration
Step
critical.
1. Get LARrE to go to first plant slot and read state. Step 2. Get LARrE to plant and first plant slot. Step 3? There might be some other steps I think of as I go through this. Get LARrE to harvest to check state of plant in first plant slot and harvest when ready. And then step 4. Whoop. Make it a loop to check all of them and plant harvest as needed. Cool. Step 5. Do it again next week when they change it again. Alright. Here goes. Where's my screwdriver? Actually, let's just simplify things. Oh wait, no, that doesn't work. This works though. That's a lot fewer devices on the network now. LARrE Dock Hydroponics. Export, import. Alright, I'm just going to set those up first because then at least they're already in the code. So, alias. LARrE Dock. Actually, we'll go LARrE 1 doc. D0. Alias. Did I do export import? Export import. Wait, do I even need to... I didn't need to know the states of the import. Oh wait, yes I did. So I needed to tell them to activate. Alias. Export bin. D1. Alias. Import bin. D2. Can I... So, first off, I need to send the, I believe setting is this, or is, okay, I can read position. So I need to send it to station 2. So set LARrE 1 doc. Actually, I might just call this L1 doc so that it's less typing as we go through. L1 doc setting 2. So we're sending it to setting 2. And then at setting 2, I want to read the state. So it'll be... Is it a load slot? Yes. Load slot into R15 from... This will be L1 doc. Then the slot index. How do I find out what the slot index is? Where is that information? Why do we know it's 255? Is it because it says it here? Is that literally all it is?
Hunger critical.
Oh, see, when I saw 255 there, I'm like, oh, we have 256 slot indices, sorry. That's what I interpreted that to mean. Oh, it's nice just being able to run downstairs and get food and water and come back up. It's the best. Doop, 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 doo. And edit. So, slot index 255, logic slot type. How do we find the logic slot types? Is that going to be in the stations? Nope. You can also scroll down and see individual slots for devices and their names. Oh, target slot, index 255. Arm slot, index 0. Hopper slot, index 1. Ah. Okay, that's cool, knowing it's there. So same as with the hydroponic device, it's... Okay, so it's the hydroponic device very, like, things. So what I want is... what did I do in the other one? Should probably have a quick look at my old code. So that'll be load from. Alright. So occupied. I used occupied to check whether they were occupied, and then mature and seeding. Alright. Cool. Occupied. So set db setting R15. Confirm. All right, export. Let's see what happens. State 0. I put all my seeds away. There's one here. So if I plant a seed, is that going to change? State 1, yes. Okay, cool. And it's smiling. Wasn't expecting that. Actually, Daz, I do need it to loop because I was planning on changing the state to see what it did. That was intentional. I'm almost starting to think ahead. It's not true. I'm trying to, though. Okay. So this is actually fairly straightforward now compared to before. So what I basically want to do is increment this number as the loop. Can I put a register in that position? I can, so I can increment a register. Yeah, this is going to be heaps better. This is going to allow us to actually do a proper tidy loop. Alright, so now, actually, I'm going to change what step 2 is. I'm not going to get it to plant. I'm going to get LARrE to check each station in turn. Now it gets fun. Because if it can check each station in turn, then I just do more than just checking at each station, and that's where this eventually becomes the fully functional LARrE. Fulgent, the rail is already connected in a loop. Okay, so how do I make it increment that? What I want to do is oh yeah, alias station one. And yeah, so it'd be add station. So add is register equals a plus b, station plus 1. So that'll give me the... So what I want to do first is start, and we go set L1 dock to station. Then I want to check a bunch of things. So I can probably just grab some of this. Setting station. Then check things. Then we'll sleep so that I have time to see what's happening. And then we add station to station 1. Then we can yield. And then we can jump to start. And at the start, I can do set. Can I set? Wait, no, not set. How do I set R1 to equal 1 or 2 at the start? What's the command for move? Thank you. That's what I learned last week as well. That's right. So I want to begin, part of my load sequence is move into station 2, sorry. So that it begins at 2. Oh, hang on. This is gonna... What's gonna happen when it gets to these stations? Station 1 and Station 20? Because it's gonna get to station... It'll get to station 20 and it'll try to think it's a hydroponics, but it's not going to. Yeah, I know I need my wait idle again. I'm just skipping that for the moment. That was going to be my next thing that I do. Once I've got this working. Because I don't want to add a wait idle that I might do wrong like I did last week. And have to fix that again. And not know which bit I've messed up. Add station 1. And then it'll be... I probably want to do a branch greater than... So if... Let's see if A is letter greater than B. So if station is greater than 19... Jump to, let's go reset. And we'll just have a reset. Move station 2. Jump to start. Set greater than? Register equals 1. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. That doesn't work. Oh yeah, I could just put reset here, couldn't I? Yeah, that works too. Okay, so this should go from 2 to 19, checking whether it's occupied, sleeping for 2 seconds between each one so that I can read what... No, I haven't set DB. I need to do that. Set DB. Setting. No. Was it setting? Yeah, setting. R15. Confirm. Export. So we chuck this in here. And we see what happens. Does anyone else feel that's quicker than 2 seconds? Oh yeah, it's 2 seconds from when it starts to move. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, it's staying state. What? Uh-oh. It's not working. It is not working at all. What the heck did it just do? That ain't right. It added to stations several times during that long move. Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, let's get our wait idle setup going then. Alright. That's pretty straightforward what I did there. Hopefully. I really wish I could copy multiple lines of code. Alright. Yeah, Ginger, I think you are right. I think while it was traversing across the others, it kept checking to see whether it kept adding, and so it got several stations down before it got to the end. Second LARrE to keep the old code on. That's not a bad second laptop. It's not a bad idea, actually. How expensive are laptops? It'll be fine. Once this wait idles in, then it's pretty much all going to be new anyway. So what we want here is JAL? JRA? No. Is it JAL? Jump execution to line A and store number in RA. Yeah. JAL, wait, idle. Then it was load R15 L1 dock idle. Was it just idle? I think it was just idle. Yeah. Idle. Sleep 1. Then... Man, this is bad. Then I did branch greater than 0. Yep, okay. Do as I did before, I'm gonna load this into R0. Sleep 1, branch greater than 0. Actually, start with the sleep. Branch greater than 0 to branch to line B if A is greater than 0. 0. RA. And it was jump to wait idle. So yield is half a second, sleep is measured in seconds. Because you get 2 ticks per second in MIPS. So 2 ticks per second means half a second. I wanted this to wait a minimum of a second because running every ticket just seemed to make no sense. So I actually wanted to slow it down so that it doesn't end up getting itself trapped, which it sort of did with a... It seemed to be more likely to do when it was on a yield. But this should work. So we jump to wait idle. We wait a second. We then check if it's idle. If idle is 1, which means it is idle, it'll jump back to here. Increment the station. Check if it's greater than 19. Jump back to start. And move to the next station. Yeah. That should work. Let's give it a try. It's happy. It moves. 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 See what happens when it gets around to the end of the loop. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Yay! Hooray! Okay, now we can start doing things at each station because we've got the loop running properly. Alright. I feel like this is organized in a really odd way, though. I feel like I want to reorganize where these station checks are at and redo it. So I begin this actually does make sense at the end now that I think about it. Yeah, Charlie's behind me. He just had a big yawn. She can hear Toby, and she wants to be with him, but she's a bit of a menace this time in the morning. So we send it to the station. We load whether it's occupied. If it's occupied, we then want to check whether it's seating. So this is where I need to have like various branches, because if occupied, cool, then we next check if it's seating. If it's seating, cool, we harvest it. If it's not occupied, then we go collect a seed and plant. So I think what I'll do is branch greater than 0. Branch to line BFAs. So R15, and we'll go to harvest. No. Harvesting. Oh yeah, good point. Once checking occupied, I should check health, shouldn't I? Before going on to harvesting. Actually, no, at harvesting I can do that. Because if it's occupied, then at harvesting we need to check the health first. So let's just write that in so I remember. So, if it's not occupied, we want to... I can delete this. We want to set L1 dock setting. We want to go to 1, I think it is. No. The fern seeds are in station 20. Oh. Oh, I just had a thought. Define seeds. Let's go. Find import. I'll just go seeds. 20. The reason I'm thinking this is because the station numbers are going to change, and this way I can reuse this code on multiple things with the different station numbers if the station numbers end up being different. So I'm actually making this more future-proof. Define max stations. 19. Yeah. Yeah, now I'm thinking proper. Maybe call it seed station. Oh, yeah, yeah, good call. Seed station makes sense. Cool, 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 cool. So then we go to seed station, and then we JAL wait idle. Then at seed station, we set L1 dock. Activate 1. Then we wait idle. Then we set L1 dock. Setting station. And then we wait idle. Then we set L1 dock. Activate 1. So that would be the planting. Then we increment the station, we go do the same thing to the next one. But that doesn't quite do what I need it to do because I... Oh wait, no, because I'm going to check health here, so that's fine. Find my export station as well, yep. Ellie, what are you doing? You're making a lot of noise over there. Very distracting. Stop licking your butt. Oh yeah, I didn't actually... No, this is checking the status of the thing. It's fine. Okay. So yeah, we set the LARrE to go to the seed station. We wait until it gets there. We then activate. Wait until the activation is complete. Although, I feel like I might have done this as a sleep on the previous one because the wait idle didn't work. Yeah, I did a sleep 2. Sleep 2 was the better option. Yep. I didn't do a wait idle, I did a sleep. After each activate. Okay. So I do a sleep 2 there instead of all the wait idles. And then that should be it for getting the thing to gradually plant in all of them. So it goes to the seed station. It picks up a seed. It goes back to the station it was at. It plants the seed. And then it increments the station. If the station is greater than 19, it resets. If not, it goes back to the start. Cool. Then we go to harvesting. I need to check the health first. Honestly, I don't feel there's much value in... Like, if you want to do readability, you could just do this. Occupied check, but I just don't think it's needed. I don't think having that little bit in its own loop makes much sense, because then there's basically nothing in here at that point. It's just a station increment. I may regret that comment later, but we'll see. Checking each station in turn, done. Alright, so for harvesting, we need to load slot into R15, L1, dock, 255, and we want health. I think it is. Yeah, health. So if the health is 0, if I activate LARrE, does that clear the slot? Oh, actually, you're right. You're actually right, Daz, and everyone who's telling me to separate the seeding loop out. Because I want it to increment. No, I don't. No, this is fine. I think. Because if it's occupied, it goes to check harvesting. If it's not occupied, it goes to plant it. And then once it's planted, it goes back to check the next one. If it was occupied... I could just add this. Then I can jump to there from harvesting. Silent Phoenix, you no longer need hydroponics devices. They have been rendered largely irrelevant by the new LARrE. I mean, you can still use them to make LARrE faster if you want to make LARrE not just constantly cycling around checking them all. You could just check them all and then send LARrE to the correct station, but I don't want to do it that way. I'm just going to get LARrE to do all the work. So we want to check health. If health is 0, branch equal 0. Branch equals 0. Yeah. Dead plant. So if 15 is 0, branch to dead plant. Dead plant will have set L1 dock. Activate 1. Then sleep 2. Then could jump to start. And it should then just run through the same thing. I think I'm gonna have to let Charlie out because she's booping the door. Naughty dog. 1 sec. Point it out. What do you have to do? Alright, just go. Three. Come on. Sorry. Alright, the dog is out. Am I making my life harder? Should I have a seeding loop? I don't even know. Oh. Fine. Yep. Before we... Let's have a seeding loop. I mean, it kind of just makes sense, I think, just to break these up and have various start points. It's the Larry's movement noise vaguely hypnotic. It is kind of like that, it's almost a metronome. So, we begin. We jump to settings station, which begins at 2. We then load whether it's occupied. If it is not occupied, it'll be 0, so we will not branch, and we'll go to seed planting. If it is greater than 0, we will jump to harvesting. And the first thing we do with harvesting is we check the health of the plant. And if the plant health is 0, we move to dead plant, we activate 1, clear it, we sleep 2, and then we jump to seed plant. I should really name that plant seed. So that makes more sense. Plant seed. So then we jump to plant seed, and then it'll do this thing. And then it jumps to then it goes to the increment after that. Now, I'm going to do this even though it's currently unnecessary. But just in case I decide to rearrange where things are here later. Thanks, Athelium! Thank you so much for 33 months. How's it going, Nutty Elder? So... we then go... might move harvesting in here so that we do have harvesting and the planting and the increment and the wait idle can be at the end. feels better. See you, Vox. Dead plant. Oops. There we go. We've got our increments and our weight idles down the bottom. Got our seed planting, our harvesting, and our dead plant. So dead plant goes back to plant seed, which then goes through the seed planting process to increment, which is fine because then it keeps going on to the next one. Harvesting. So we checked if the plant is dead. Next, we check if the plant is seeding. So LS R15 load from slot into R1 R15 L1 dock 255 seeding. If it is seeding, we want to branch greater than 0. What is? No, I've named this wrong again. Plant status. Oops. If your video screen gets small, that's because an ad is playing. If you're not seeing the ad, it's because your ad blocker is somehow working. Because I don't run full screen ads like ever. I've often thought about whether I should run it when I take a bio break and just run those ads so that people don't get the ads on join, but I've never gotten around to being organized to set that up. Just be like, if I'm taking a break, everybody just take a break. 3 minutes. Branch greater than 0. R15. So if it is seeding, that will be a 1. Which means it'll be greater than 0, so we want to jump to harvesting. And this is actually the harvesting bit. And if it's not seeding, I don't want to do anything, so I want to jump to increment. Yeah, wasted. I did have that impression that it does, it's not something that I would plan to do every hour. It was more something, if I'm going to walk away from the computer for a few minutes to sort something out, maybe I'd be set up to do it, but not something I was going to consistently do. Because honestly, ads on Twitch are terrible. From all aspects. The thing that Twitch has going for it is the stuff that they have set up to make streams more interesting to use. The various predictions, polls, lower latency, all that stuff. Everything else, as far as I can think of, YouTube is better. What would make a good ad? One that's paid at a reasonable rate and is applicable to the audience, I guess. Yeah. I don't have an issue with ads as a concept. I'd be rather hypocritical if I did. So, harvesting. We've checked that it's seeding, so it's hard. We want to harvest, so then we'd go to set L1 dock. Activate 1, sleep 2. Then we want to set L1 dock to setting, what did I call it? Export station. Wait, JAL, wait, idle. Then set L1 dock, activate 1, sleep 2, set L1 dock, setting station, set L1. Yeah, I don't actually need to check whether this is mature, because if I've taken the seeds, it is mature, so I should just be able to do set L1. I should check, actually, there should be a little loop here. So now I need to check if it's occupied again. No, I do need to check mature. You're right. No, you guys are right. That's right. I wanted to check if mature because I don't want to harvest if not mature because of the whole switchgrass and tomato thing. Yep. I don't think any plants have different seed counts. I think they all have 1. So we want to load slot R15, L1, dock, 255, mature. Oh yeah, sorry, you're right. Need to wait idle in here. You are correct. So then we check whether it's mature. If it's mature, we want to... So if it's not mature, it should be a 0, which means branch equal to 0, R15, increment. So if it's not mature, wait, yeah. If it's not mature, jump to increment, it'll jump to increment, set the station to the next one, and it'll check the next thing. If it is mature, then we need to set L1 dock, activate 1, sleep 2. Then we need to go and take it to the export station. Setting export station. L, wait, idle. Then set L1 dock, activate 1, sleep 2. Hang on. Plant, mature. Actually, mature, check. Because mature is a variable, I need to set it things. Then we want to jump to... Yeah, jump to mature check. No, because I'm at the export station right now, so I need to set L1 dock, setting, station, and L, wait, idle. And then it jumps to the mature check and checks if it's mature. If it's not mature, it increments. If it's still got more to harvest, it'll harvest, take it out again, and go through. Now I think this can be optimized later so I can harvest multiple times into the hopper and then export them all at the end, but I'm just going to do this one at a time for now. So yeah, we jump, mature check it again. If not, move on. I think that works. Let's just run through this harvesting thing. So, making sure this makes sense. So we activate it. So we go to... So if it's seeding, it goes to harvesting. At which point it gets activated. It picks up the seed, takes it to the export station, drops it in the export station, goes back to the station it was at, checks to see if it's a mature plant. If it's a mature plant, it will skip this and go to activate. It'll pick up the crop. No. It'll pick up the crop. It'll move to the export station. It'll drop off the crop. It'll move back to the station. It'll check again if it's mature. If it's still mature because it's still got crop left to do, it'll pick it up again. And if it's not mature, it'll go to the increment, which means it goes to a new station, goes back to start, and does it all again. And then I need to make sure that the export station gets cleared each time. So let's save this to the library again. See what I did on the previous one. Oh wait, I was using... Why was I using sums and stuff last time? Huh. This does seem much simpler. Where was the bit that I'm doing the... export station? This feels like I'm missing something in this. Oh, set import open 1, open 0. That's what it was. No, it wasn't? Okay, I'm gonna load up my new one and use some because I was using the hash function. Okay, so yeah, this is much nicer than that. So when we get to any of these points where we've dropped something off, harvesting, go to the export station, activate 1, sleep 2. After this, what I want to do is set export bin. Open to 0, I think. Resets it. Is that correct, chat? Let's see. Shoot export bin. Yeah, I think it was closing it was right. That export bin open 0. We only need that in a couple of spots, so I'll just use it this way. Because they're the 2 spots. So that should, after the thing's been dropped off, reset the export bin and send it through. I think this is going to work. Unless I've done some typos or something, the logic to me seems sound. Doesn't mean it is, but to me seems sound. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Confirm. Let's give it a go. It's the worst that could happen. Only one plant there to kill. Oh. Why did it do that? Why did it try and plant a plant in an occupied spot? It shouldn't have done that. I'll be back in a sec. I need to take a quick bio break, but I will figure this out in a moment. Alright. So, why did it try and plant a seed in the already occupied slot? My guess is either it's reading plant slot 2, the next one along, and trying to plant in this one still, or it's not reading it properly that it's full. So let's check what's going on here. So we begin, load station 2, load into station the number 2. Also, I should have this in my startup, just in case.
Hunger critical.
Yeah, hunger's critical. We'll sort that in a second. So, we move L1 dock to station, and we don't have await idle. So it checked it based off open before it actually got to the station. So it didn't actually get there. I think that's the problem. So it didn't get to the station before it checked it. Once it's idle, it'll check whether it's occupied, and then it'll go through the stuff. Let's see if that works. Let's see if it tries to plant yet another seed in the same spot. What? Okay. It doesn't like being reset, apparently. Oh, wait, I'm doing export bin, not import bin. I am doing the wrong thing. Alright, the heavy breathing started. I'm gonna have to go downstairs and eat. Right. Yep. Yep. Eat the muffin. Drink the water. Oh, yep, change the one in the reset as well. Good point. Yeah, I think what I want to do is check if there's something in the arm at the start in the load setup. So if there's something in the arm, go and drop it off. So I want to... I think it's a load slot for it. Nope. A slot for the arm slot and the hopper slot. So I want to check if the arm slot and the hopper slot are empty. So load slot into R15, L1 dock, slot index. We'll start with 0, the arm. 0. Now I don't know what the logic type will be. Anyone know? Try occupied and see if it works. And if it's... And then I also will need to do a load slot R15. So I need to check both. And then I could do add. And then branch less than 0. R13. Reset. Okay. Oh, branch equal to 0. So, if it's not equal to 0, then I want to set L1 dock setting export station JL wait idle, then set L1 dock activate 1 sleep 2 jump to the start of here again. Does the hopper automatically move to the arm if the arm is empty? Yes. Okay, I'm being told yes. Good. Now we have initialize and start. Oh boy. So we sleep 2, jump to initialize, load these values again, check if they're both 0. If they're not both 0, activate, keep running that, and then once it's done, it'll jump out to reset, which will skip out of it, and then we should be good. So, if this is indeed working, then I should be able to put some stuff in the arm and in the hopper, and at the start, it'll go off and offload them. Hey, Dragnon. Thanks so much for 57 months at tier 3, you madman. And yes, back to computer programming class, except I think I'm doing much better this week than last. And so it should be fine. Honestly... Yep, wasted. Almost time for PIDs. Honestly, the loop that I'm running at the export station is like those 4 lines. It doesn't really feel like it... I mean, I guess the wait idle is similar. So I probably could have jumped it out and have a like an offload command there that I had a loop for, which I could do if I run out of lines to optimize things a little bit. Yes, confirm. Export. Let's see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab... Did any of these end up on the floor? Grab that out of there. Grab that out of there. I'm going to shove that into the hopper. Shove that into the hopper. There we go. Then I'm going to put my chip in and see if it starts properly. There we go. Right. Forgot a step. Need to close the bin. Which, if I had a loop, I wouldn't have messed up. Yes, 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 I know. Had its own little thing. Subroutine, whatever you want to call it. Yay! This seems to be working. Seats. Oh. Yep. Did I write that as export station, not import? And it worked anyway? No, I did import bin, because I copied. Oh. Let's see. It's going to plant. Let's check in the next one. And now... that's functional, as far as I can tell at this point. I would have to wait until the plants grow before I can test the next phase of it properly. I do need to go downstairs and increase the number of switchgrass seeds I've got. That's true. That's another thing to do. But I think at this point, I should say, Wasted, come join me in chat so we can go make a flying turtle. Assuming you are available, considering you are around. Yep, I need a sorter and I need all that other stuff. So there's a heap more to do to make this automated system work properly. But it does do what it's supposed to do. At this stage, which is plant the stuff, harvest the stuff. And keep replanting it, which is very, very cool. Yeah, I'm getting close to making my own water. Hooray! Thanks, Jacobo Meow. Thank you for the Prime sub. I have no idea, Shaded Loco, what the extended function on the arm does. Yeah. It's quite satisfying seeing this just doing its thing. Yeah, Wasted. Motor mix theory. That's what you're up to. I did have some ideas on that I wanted to check whether you were doing already or not, because I'm not sure I fully registered what you were actually doing. Ah, this is very satisfying. Just watching it do its thing. Back and forth and back and forth. Yeah. Wasted and I are gonna jump into some Archean in a minute. G'day, Wasted. And, yeah.
The rumbles and sounds of a contented Splitsy.
Yeah. It's just nice knowing that I actually made a thing that works. Especially with the number of things I had to learn to make it work. And the fact that it
Does it
changed
need
on
saving?
me last week to this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I noticed.
I'm going to do the whole thing again. But still, I learned stuff last week that's useful. Alrighty. I'm going to save this and switch over. So hang around, we'll be jumping into Archean in a second.